Now, this area of the golf swing relates heavily to the lie angle of your golf club. So it's a bit of a continuation of an old video where I looked at the lie angles and what the difference is from upright to flat, what the difference in direction is. And then I talked about how to measure your lie angles on your own. And I've had a few questions come from those videos. So a lot of people are saying, how does it affect strike when you get flatter and more upright? Now, in theory, it shouldn't affect your strike, in theory. Because as you come through the ball, you come through the ball here in the middle, or you come through the ball here in the toe, or whatever it is. So let's call it in the middle. You come through the ball in the middle. If that toe's slightly higher, you're still in the middle. If that toe's slightly lower, you're still in the middle. The length of the club, in theory, has more influence on where you strike on the club face. But there is another dynamic that kind of, it's like a 60-40 kind of like success rate. It's hard to say this will happen every time, but here's a general idea of the trends that I see. If someone has a club that is far too upright and the toe's really high up, they might feel the need to stand closer to the ball to match up to that lie angle because they feel more comfortable because the head's flatter on the floor. And when they get too close to the ball, we jump out of our own way and we hit the toe into the floor a little bit more. So we get that kind of like toe in the ground, we get the ball going out to the right hand side, and then they make the club more upright, and then you stand closer to the ball, and then we exaggerate the problem. So as a starting point, I'd really want to get people the right distance away from the ball, because if you get too close, we can get stuck and we can get in here and we can cause some issues with the swing, which gives us funny reactions on the club face in terms of like how that toe interacts with the turf and how that direction of the golf ball gets affected. And again, sometimes the thoughtful fix is to go more upright in that scenario, but then you exaggerate the problem. So if I go too far away from the ball, that toe sticks up. So you might go, flatter in the lie angle, and then that toe comes further down, but then you've still got a fault in there. You're still reaching out for the ball and still hitting bad shots. And yes, that toe's coming in through higher up on the ground, and we flatten it out to get that a little bit more level, but then you're still exaggerating the fault. So to get the right distance from the ball, if I stand too close to the ball, I'm going to punch really high on my leg. And what I'm after here is to be able to punch the top of my knee. So 3 fingers from the kneecap, then the grip on there, and then you stand normally. That is the distance that I would encourage you to be from the golf ball, so you're not too close and you're not too far away. The biggest fault that I see is that people get too close to the golf ball. That's the more dominant one that happens. But if I get into here and I go, right, yep, top of the kneecap, good to go. That gets me the right distance from the golf ball, and then I can get a bit more specific with the lie angles on the golf club. So I hope that helps, and I'll see you on the next video.